Okay, let me know. Good, good, good. Okay. All right, how's the quality? Because I'm using a new headset because I've been having some ear problems. And I have to use special type of headset. Good, sounds good, Mark. You doing much trading this morning, Mark? The markets are not too crazy this morning. Yet. All right, folks, so good morning. Crude open, that's about it. Testing a crude open. All right, folks, so let's go into the trade room. Welcome to the CB Consumer Confidence Trade Room, 10-minute trades. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades. Please remember, all trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so please trade carefully. So this morning we're looking at CB Consumer Confidence, and I think it's trading with Richmond, which usually doesn't release on time. It hasn't been. So let me get my news up. Let me get everything set up like I always do. Let's see how much space I need for the news. Not that much. Now, we do have a trade room for the 7-year note auction at 12:30. There was no DMM created. The ES is opening right now. That's where the volatility is coming from. So I'm just so folks know, this report has had two let's look at something. It has had 2 out of 3 winners with gold, but prior to that, the report has been virtually untradeable. Okay, so and one of the winners, the January, the original video is corrupt, so I had to run a replay on it, which is always different than real life. So this is what January looked like. It filled, it stumbled around a little bit. And then I believe it's eventually going to hit the targets properly. However, what I want to see, I'm going to stop it for 1 second. So January 26th, what I want to see is what was the report? Was it negative or positive? Okay. So January 26th, consumer confidence was slightly slightly positive. Now, Richmond comes out 1 second before consumer confidence. 1 second before. That's something we've noticed. It's a weirdness of this report when they trade together. Now, if you go back and look at the results, Forex Factory in January, okay, this was January 26th, it was a small offset to the upside, okay? So gold actually moved the theoretical correct direction in January, okay? The issue with this report has been that it hasn't been, it's never been a really great report. So you've got a couple of issues. You've got a report that's coming out with, I believe, Richmond. We'll check it right now. So if we look at Forex Factory. Now, here's what's funny about Forex Factory. They always show it at 10 o'clock, but I'm telling you, it always, I shouldn't say always, but for the past year or so, it's been coming out a second early, Richmond, which is kind of strange. It's definitely a little bit strange. So the January report was decent. Let's look at last month. So we tested a gold trap trade last month, okay, which was not very good. And we've been doing a lot of testing this month for an ES trap trade. But let's look at last month, what the breakout looked like on replay to give you an idea. And I do want to welcome our friends on YouTube. You know, give our videos a like, our stream. It's not a video, we're live. And sign up for our channel so you know the next time we're going to be here. And then hit the notification bell so you get notified. So last month, it was a very, it was a pretty small move. The targets are not that big. And then it went through and it worked. So that was March 30th, okay? That was March 30th. So again, it's important to know, was it good direction? So on March 30th, CB consumer confidence was very, very, very positive, okay? 109 versus 96. It was uncharacteristically positive, okay? Uncharacteristically positive. Difficult word to say. And because of that, it should have moved a lot faster than that, in my opinion, with those results. Those results should have been a blast to the downside, but it was a slow, steady move to the downside. But here's what's interesting, all right? So there's been a couple of reports that have worked as of late. So does that mean I would trade gold on this report today? Not necessarily. I want to show you something that we did. We tested, so last month, we tested the ES trap trade. We have an ES trap trade. And with that fantastic consumer confidence, and I think that this might have been a miracle fill. It might have been a miracle fill. Because it just barely hit the target. Just barely. All right. So it's a little bit tricky to be sure. But it looks like it filled one tier to the upside, and it gave you an opportunity. Now, if you didn't get filled in real life on that, you could have kept yourself safe by canceling the trade. What's unusual, what's a little bit strange, is the price jolted down on tremendously good news. So it concerns me a little bit about what the ES is responding to. But we did a lot of ES tests on a trap trade for this setup. Quite a few. Quite a few. So the risk is 7 ticks per contract. Most of the time, it just fills one contract on the ES, most of the time. So it's not a super high risk to test a new setup. If consumer confidence is incredible and the price just explodes, we'll get stopped out. But it's 7 ticks, so it's $50 a point. It's 1 3/4 points, so it's $75 a contract. It's a risk of about $150 to test if our setup is good. That's about what we're risking. This is not a report and a time of day that we're real big on trading gold these days, okay? That's just the way gold's been trading. It's not that we don't like trading gold, because we do. But because of the way gold has been trading lately, this time of day has not been the best time. Good morning, Mike. So, Mike, understand this is definitely not family money trade. All right. Don't be fooled by the DMM looking good. If you read the text, you realize this has been a very poorly performing trade with gold. Okay. Yes, it worked last month, and yes, it worked in January, but prior to that, it has been not a good trade. So if you're going to use the DMM, I just want you to be aware that I would consider this a reasonable high risk. Okay. For me, I would not trade my family's money with gold probably at 10 o'clock right now, unless if it was a jobs report, I would consider it. It's got to be a report that's explosive This report is not an explosive report normally, not normally. But I want to test our gold setup exactly as the DMM says. It's a bracket of 6. It's a target of 5 and a target of 10, which is the way I'm set up. It's a stop of 10, and it's an entry time of 10 o'clock. Now, keep in mind that Richmond comes out 1 minute before. It comes out at 9:59 almost all the time. So if there's a big market effect from Richmond, you should probably cancel your trade, okay? Usually there isn't, but if there is, I would cancel the trade because we're not really trading Richmond. We're trading consumer confidence, which normally is the more impactful report. But it's something you want to be aware of in your thinking, all right? So the gold setup is a bracket of 6, 1 target of 5 ticks, 1 target of 10 ticks, an entry time of 10 o'clock, 20-second cancel, 20-second cancel, okay? If you read all the text, "2020 was rocky for this report. 2021 is starting out a little bit better, but we know the issues of late with gold at 10 o'clock. Think existing home sales, stop out, new home sales would have been a stop out. Okay. So the gold is a test. I wish I had more room. I wish I had more room. I'm going to record this. So the question is the ES trap trade, is it going to work? Will it work? First, I want to record. So the trap trade setup, and we are about a week away from a new version of the trap trade. A week away from a new version of the trap trade. Mark, just a quick question. I assume the NQ was trending negative. What time did you get in? That's my question. I assume it was trending negative from midnight. Yep. So my only question right now is, what time did you get in? The trap trade setup for the ES on consumer confidence. Thanks, Mark. Let me get my notes. Oh, you know what? I made a template. Let me load my template. CB ES trap. My bracket center is priced at the time, one position for 5 ticks, one position for 9 ticks. Tier 1 and 2 is order ticks 1 and 2. Entry time should be 10 o'clock. Prep time, 5 seconds. Stop loss position is last fill price, not average fill price. Bracket center is price at the time. So going from the top down, bracket center price at the time, position size 1 is 1. Spike stays at 5. That's a default. Position size 2, change it to 1. That's going to be fixed in the update. Average price bars is a default. Last fill price gets changed from average price. That's being changed. And then stop loss ticks should be 7. And make sure it stays at 7. So I'm going to risk $175 on this trade. I'm going to take a shot. We do all this testing, right? We do all this testing. If we don't take advantage of it, it's not like the NQ where the testing is trickier. It is trickier. I'd give it about probably a 30-second fill. My order prep is 5 seconds. Entry time is 10 o'clock. Stop is 7. One position for 5 ticks. One position for 9 ticks. Remember, a trap trade is a reversal trade. So I'm expecting to get filled on the opposite side. In other words, there's going to be orders above the current price and there's going to be orders below the current price. And I'm looking to get filled. If I get filled above, it's going to be a short. If I get filled below, it's going to be a long. If it just moves in one direction and one direction only, then I'll get stopped out. Okay. If it acts the way it did with all our testing, then I should have an opportunity to get a profit. And if it acts like our testing, I would think that I'm going to see just one contract get filled, unless it bursts. If it bursts, I'm in trouble. Now, if Richmond comes out early and it makes me extremely uncomfortable, I'll hit the close button and I won't trade. If you're going to cancel a trap trade, you could hit close up top, right there, or you could hit close in the chart trader. But you can't uncheck it like you can a breakout trade. It just doesn't work that way. It's a different strategy. It's got a few different rules. Okay. Now we do have a 12:30 room. We do have a 12:30 room for the 7-year note auction, folks. Okay. There was no DMM for it. But we do have a room. I'm not hearing my buddies at Financial Juice Pro because they need to be turned on. They didn't used to have to be turned on, but they do now. Je crois it was an accident. Honestly, was an accident. It's the exact same setup as last month, but it was an accidental error. It has nothing to do with, whether or not we would trade it. Okay. It was just an accident. It was a mistake. The real truth is what happened was when I make the schedule, I make it on Thursdays, and the 7-year note, I did not check the auction site, which I don't usually do, but I really should, to be honest. I should do it. It's not a big deal. I should really do it, but I didn't. And it wasn't on the investing.com site, and it didn't show up until Friday on investing.com. So I let my boss know, but I think he just missed, he didn't see my email to add it to the schedule. So I think it was just an accidental miscommunication. That's what happened. So they're actually expecting very good consumer confidence. I'm checking my time. We are in sync. And we shall see. That's very good consumer confidence. 113 is pre-world crisis numbers. And last month was tremendously positive. Very positive news. I just want a good bracket on gold so we can see how the trade works. So the trap trade, 5 seconds before the news comes out, my orders will show up. That's very minimal preparation time. In the old days, we used to do very long preparation times. 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but the markets got so volatile that prep times became very difficult to do for long periods because you'd get filled early. So, this is a trade that usually my temptation is to do a live test one time. And I'm almost tempted to do it because the market behavior is very volatile, or it's active. I would call it active. But we're risking about $175. The stop is 7. Set to 7. So at 9:59 and 55 seconds, my trap trade will show up. Now see if Richmond comes out now. Does Richmond come out at 9:59 like it has been? I don't see it. I don't see it. And I don't see it on Financial Juice either. So what we'll be looking for is a fill in one direction and then a change in direction. If we get just a steady move in one direction, we'll get stopped out. Richmond did not come out early. Yes, it did. Richmond just came out. Gold was a stop, it looks like. Wow, consumer confidence is incredibly good. Why in heaven's name would it go down? That's a mystery. That's a mystery. Why would it go down on incredible consumer confidence? So it looks like it doesn't want to fill the outer tier. Okay. Although it's close to filling the outer tier, not canceling it yet. But I'm concerned so something for some reason I got an error and it cost me 2 ticks and closed out my trade. And maybe it was for the best, but I have to look and see what happened. That would have been a winning trade. It would have been a winning trade. Let's look at the setup and make sure I didn't do anything wrong. I did not do anything wrong. We could have gotten out of this trade with a small profit, but something happened. Let's see. I may have to look at the video to see exactly what happened. Was the move so fast? It didn't hit our stop. The setup is definitely correct. It's definitely correct. One position. I've never seen that happen on a trap trade. Let's look at the video. And I'm not sure why it closed me out. This would have been an awesome winner. We got filled short and it closed me out. Now, before I close out, I'm going to copy the information in the Ninja script output and I'm going to send it to my programmer because I want to know what happened. I'm not sure what happened here. I'm going to put my charts on Sim. And I'm going to copy everything that's in that window, Ninja script output, okay? And I'm going to paste it to a Word file. And I'm going to send it to my programmer because I don't know why it canceled. As far as I'm concerned, there should not have been an error. My stop, Chantal, was 7. I only lost $50 and I had 2 contracts in the market. I was 1 tick down and it was getting ready to reverse. So take a look at the, Chantal, take a look at the, let me copy and paste this. Let me copy and paste it. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, folks. But that's what you do if you have an error, and you can send it to us. And that's why it's important to have the Ninja output file open. Now, I lost 1 tick on 2 contracts. Okay, Chantal, that's fine. YouTube, thank you for watching, and we'll see you. Give us a like on the video. You can learn about trading this way. All right. And I'll see you all the next time we're here.